Hello and welcome back to Cymru Rails. It's that time of year again, time for the Hornby 2025 range. After being disappointed by their rather lacking mid-year 2024 announcements, I've got high hopes for this one. Hopefully they will bring something exciting to the table this time around. Let's jump in and see what they've got in store for us this year and check out all the announcements. Alright, let's start with the nostalgic train sets which they've announced, where Hornby is bringing a bit of a touch of history for 2025. First up is the Intercity 125 high-speed train set, a tribute to the past really. It comes in a retro 1970s style Hornby Railways packaging, and it's modelled after their original train set. Inside is a free vehicle HST in the blue and grey, complete with 2 powered cars, and one is actually a dummy, and a Mark III trailer standard coach, along with an oval of track. Then we have the Triang Ars S9 Intercity Express train, which is perfect for collectors of, again, old Triang era. This is limited edition, and it's only 1,000 of them actually being produced, but I believe they've said that before and then upped the amount once they sold over 1,000, so we'll see about that. It includes the Railroad Class 37 in BR Green and 3 Railroad Pullman coaches in Umber and Cream. While the retro packaging is charming for both of these options, I'll be honest, it's not really for me, but I do understand who these products are aimed at, and I'm sure they will appeal to those who grew up with Triang and those who remember the old 1970s Hornby Railways packaging. Finally, let's talk about something a bit more modern in the train set department, and that is the LNER Azuma train set. This introduces a newly tooled Class 800 unit for Hornby's railroad range. It's a fantastic getaway for the younger generation to get into model railways. Modern image trains like this are clearly gaining traction. Just look at the popularity of Pete Waterman's Making Tracks layout, which is all modern image. The younger generation doesn't quite have the same love for steam as previous generations have, so I think it's good to see Hornby tapping into the modern interest. Overall, it's a solid mix of nostalgia and modern appeal. Let me know which ones you're excited about, but these were the ones that really stuck out to me. Building off the excitement from the new Railroad Class 800, let's dive into new tooling announcements in Hornby's 2025 range. With plenty of new 00 additions, there's quite a bit to get excited about here, including several freshly tooled models. Leading the charge is the GWR Saint 460. As a Great Western modeler, I'm particularly excited about this addition. These Churchwood-designed locomotives are iconic, and I can't wait to see the model in person once the samples are out there at shows. Next up is the LNER J52060, which brings a modern update to a classic model. This model really holds a special place for me, as the original J52 was one of the first models I owned as a kid, and it was gifted to me alongside my Hogwarts Express, which were my first experience into the world of model railways. Seeing it receive a detailed refresh is fantastic, but there's a bit of an elephant in the room with Rapido Trains also announcing and producing their own version of the J52, which I know they've sort of buddied up together with that, but really it's going to come down to price, which one I might consider getting, and I haven't decided which one I'll go down the route of yet, so I'll be watching the reviews closely once these both release. For fans of the Southern Railway, there's also a newly tooled announced bullied tavern cars which are being produced. These unique coaches that were introduced in 1949 were styled as a traditional pub, complete with a brick effect exterior and mock Tudor designs. While I'm not deeply knowledgeable about Southern modelling, this isn't something that I was aware of before, and it's actually really lovely to see them going down this sort of less known route with their rolling stock. For me here, it's the Saint class being the highlight for me, and I can't wait to see what it looks like once Hornby finally show us the decorated samples, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this, so definitely one I'm going to be looking out for. Moving on to the new steam engines, while there aren't many newly tooled engines, I've sort of already covered that in the previous section, Hornby does have some fantastic new releases coming in 2025. Among these is the new J15, which really stood out to me in the GER lined blue livery, which is a real treat to see. It's not often we get to see this sort of colour, and I think it's such a lovely finish as opposed to the standard BR black we seem to see on everything these days. There's also a range of other releases, like the Merchant Navy in BR Express Passenger Blue, and the Stanier Duchess in BR Lined Green. However, other than the J15, nothing else is really jumping out to me personally here, and it's always nice to see these classic models making a return in new colours, but unless the price is going to lower on them, I don't think this is going to be something of interest to me. So moving on to modern traction, I'm not much of a modern image modeler, but I wanted to cover some of this to see what's upcoming in the diesel electric and bi-mode model section. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming, including the new Avanti Class 805 bi-mode, which will be available in late 2025. The Class 390 Pendolino is also getting some new liveries, which I know there's many people who I follow who are obsessed with these, but it's not really something that I'm that fussed about, but, you know, happy for them. The liveries do look nice, I have to admit. There are also more Class 423 EMUs coming, and Class 91s, including the GNER Blue and LNER livery. I'm particularly interested in the GNER 91, especially with its link to Reverend W. Awdry. It's a nice throwback to Thomas the Tank Engine, especially seeing as it's actually the 80th anniversary of Thomas and the Railway series this year. It's definitely more expensive than I would have hoped for what it is, but it's really nice to see something Thomas related make it into the range this year. Overall, there's plenty of new modern traction coming, and if you're into that, there's plenty to look forward to. The Railroad range is offering a great selection of affordable models this year, perfect for new and younger modelers. For example, we've got the Class 800 IE2, which I've already spoken a bit about, which continues the role of the Intercity 125, offering a sleek and affordable way for a lower price point for... I honestly think this is such a good way of getting the younger generation into modelling, is offering this as an option, so I'm really happy to see that this year. We also see the LSWR B4040, which, while not the most exciting engine, has been featured in Hornby A Model World, the TV show. I think we saw it being designed on there, so we already knew that it was coming eventually, but it's finally nice to get it properly announced. And it has got quite a few liveries available, and it is a very cheap and entry-level option for those going into model making and wanting to have a train set, so I'm really happy to see a Steam option in here that's affordable. Other additions include the LNER B17 460 Darlington in BR Green, LMS Patriot, Sir Robert Turnbull in Crimson, and several Class 73 Electro diesels and Class 58 diesels are available in new liveries as well as some new Class 66 models. It's just nice to see more variety, and for those that are ever trying to get into the hobby, these are affordable options for them to pick up if they're interested. The prices on Railroad they aren't that bad in my opinion now, and I'm hoping that these will be a solid entry point for those starting out in the hobby. 2025 marks the 200th anniversary of the Stockton and Darlington Railway, and Hornby is celebrating with a series of special releases. The highlight is the Birth of the Railway's Anniversary Pack, featuring Locomotion No. 1, Rocket, and Lion, all of which have been released before. But here's the thing, these models are in their rebuilt condition, not in their original 1800s configuration, which they would have had during that era. That's a bit of a contradiction when they're labelled as Era 1 models on the website. I think it would have been nice if Hornby had redesigned them to reflect their original early looks for this special anniversary. Instead, we're just getting already released models just packaged together, and it's a bit disappointing for such a significant milestone. Felt like they could have made a bit more of an effort, to be honest. On a more modern note, Hornby is also releasing a Class 395 Javelin EMU in Southeastern Blue livery with Rail 200 branding. This will come out as a 4-cast set with additional twin-pack coaches, as they seem to love to do, and it's due for release in April. However, in the images that they've released, the loco is shown under a sheet, so I don't know why they've done this, because they seem to show... They love showing renderings of, you know, early examples of what these engines will look like, and this is meant to release in April. However, like, have they not designed it yet? I'm really confused by that. They could have at least shown the design, even if it wasn't attached to the locomotive. Just show us something so we could see how it looks. But no, I don't think anyone's going to be pre-ordering this in a hurry when you don't even know what it's going to look like. So hopefully we'll get a better look at that soon. So while there isn't much in the 2025 range that I might personally pick up, it's still a solid release batch, and it's great to see Hornby isn't slowing down and continues to push out these models. For me, it's the Saint class and the J52, which I can't wait to see them in motion and check out the decorated versions when we see them in their final form. So we'll just have to wait and see on those. And let me know if there's anything else in the comments that you're excited for. I didn't cover everything in this video, I just wanted to go over the highlights, but I'm not that interested in the Beatles trains, so I'm sure there's someone out there who's covered everything in detail, but I only wanted to go over a little bit and just cover the highlights. So thank you all for watching, and it's been a pleasure going over these releases with you, and I hope you've enjoyed the coverage as much as I have. This is a bit of a new thing for me to do. I've only done the mid-year announcements last year as a little video, so I thought try and make it a bit more of a regular thing now. I'll give you my opinions and talk about what I think about these releases and the announcements. So thanks again for watching, and yeah, I'll have to catch up with you in the next video, and bye for now. Thank you for watching.